virtual opening reception of Between Here and There, curated by Bushra Junaid. This exhibition is part of our Art as a Tool for Change project and features our artists Ethel Brown, Violet Drake, and Nassim Makaremi Nia. I'd like to start with a land acknowledgement before we get into things. We respectfully acknowledge that the land in which we are occupying is unceded and ancestral homelands of the Beothuk, and that the island known as Newfoundland is the homeland of the Mi'kmaq and the Beothuk. We would also like to recognize the Inuit of Nunatsiavut and Nunatukavut, and the Innu of Nitassinan as the original peoples of Labrador. This acknowledgement is a commitment we practice in action, striving for respectful relationships with all peoples across Turtle Island. For those of you who don't know, the Art as a Tool for Change project explores how art can be used to facilitate critical dialogue around social issues like feminism, anti-racism, 2S LGBTQIA+ rights, and environmental activism, highlighting queer, women-identifying, and BIPOC artists. The artists and their work will be shared through panel discussions, workshops, artist talks, film screenings, work sharing events, live performances, and a group exhibition, as you're soon going to see here. Working with the project lead, which is myself, the Eastern Edge team, and invited curators, invited mentors, as we call them, and other guest artists, the selected 3 participate in a collaborative, self-directed residency that provides resources, space, and support to develop and present their work. So, without further ado, I'd like to hand it over to our curator, Bushra Junaid.
Thank you to Eastern Edge for having invited me to participate in this project. It was an absolute pleasure to work with these 3 artists and to collectively come together and talk about ideas of, or themes of identity and belonging and betweenness and not really belonging, how one comes to terms with where they're from and who they are, and their sense of being in the world. So it was a pleasure to work with Ethel Brown, who is originally from the Philippines, but has lived in Newfoundland and Labrador for many, many years, and whose photography really talks about coming to terms with those ideas and themes, talks about ideas of being othered through really beautiful, thoughtful photography. As well, it was a pleasure to work with Nassim Makaremi Nia, and belated happy birthday, Nassim. Nassim is exploring ideas around menstruation and taboos with respect to menstruation in different cultures and societies, through beautiful hand-embroidered sanitary napkins and tampons, and speaking to carpet weaving traditions in Iran. And then last but not least, to work with Violet Drake, who's really taken with ideas, also ideas of the alien, the other, trans readings of the environment, and the kinds of maps of meaning that we place on ourselves and our environment. And so once again, it was just, I encourage everybody to check out the work and to participate in the artist talks and other opportunities to talk about these ideas of belonging. Thank you.
My name is Nassim. I'm one of the artists for the Art as a Tool for Change residency, and during this residency I made 4 main works for this exhibition. This is one of my artwork that I made it in the layers on the canvas. The first layer is sanitary pads, the second layer is acrylic color, and the last layer is embroidery. And this is my another artwork. I made it via using 1500 tampons and embroidery thread on canvas. This is the video. It shows a woman who weaves a carpet, and while weaving the carpet, she recites some local poems in the Turkish. And the last one is my dog. It's
I moved here 35 years ago. My work looks into that displacement that happened during my adolescent years. It's divided into two parts for this time. The first part is called This Much I Know, and it's a black and white series and of photographs with text corresponding to each photograph. It looks at my internal journey and how I examine, I guess, or explore, reflect on what home means to me. And on the other part of my work over there is called Together Apart. It's also a series of diptych photographs and with text silkscreened, and it juxtaposes the landscape with the text that I've experienced over time here while living here. So it's kind of looking into what it means to be othered. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Come visit us at Eastern Edge Gallery, and the exhibit will be up until March 5th. I would love for you to come by.
My name is Violet Drake. I'm a disabled queer and trans writer, artist, and activist born and raised in the coastal community of Lawn on the Burin Peninsula. I'm now based in St. John's, and my multidisciplinary experimental practice emerges from my conceptual framework of transcorporeal cartographies and existential ecologies. I am one of 3 artists in residence here for Eastern Edge's latest project, Art as a Tool for Change. This residency is uniquely curated by and for marginalized artists to come together and creatively engage with issues of feminism, 2S LGBTQ+ rights, anti-racism, and environmental justice. This project seeks to further and fortify the diversity of the arts here in St. John's by growing and encouraging the practices each of us artists bring to this project through thoughtful curation and compassionate mentorship. My series of works for this exhibition is entitled Liminal Fluids. Liminal Fluids is a mixed media digital painting and poetry series born from my interest in queer bodies, the environment, and trans readings of science fiction and horror cinema. Throughout this series, I probe the poetics and critical potential between 3 fluids that I've selected: blood, water, and extraterrestrial amniotic fluid. These fluids represent life found above the sky, alongside us, and so below. Liminal Fluids consists of 9 hand-designed illustrations created with acrylic paint and synthetic blood, as well as 3 digital paintings constructed using these illustrations as base material. Paired alongside these visual works are 3 short poems alluding to the embodied change and transitions found between and across the fluids selected. Themes that emerge throughout this series are parallels between multicellular and primordial life illustrated by human blood of the land, seascapes among the Earth's vast oceans, and alien metamorphosis within the celestial realm. Ultimately, this mixture explores the maps of meaning we make upon and beyond our bodies and the dialectic between our environments and ourselves. I'd like to thank Eastern Edge so much for this incredible opportunity to cultivate and share my work.
Thank you, everyone, and congratulations to our artists. So, if you'd like to visit the gallery, you can do so by setting up an appointment by emailing rachel@easternedge.ca. There's more information on that on our website and on social media. In addition to the exhibition, stay tuned for updates on our artist talks in February, as well as workshops from each of our presenting artists as part of the Art as a Tool for Change Symposium that we are currently planning. So the symposium is a weekend full of discussions, workshops, and presentations that will highlight diverse artists from across Canada whose work is empowering, inspiring, and challenges social issues. Throughout the symposium, we will explore the question, as artists, how can we create art that has the power to affect change? Participation in the symposium will be free, with public events taking place both in person and online. So thank you for joining us for our virtual opening reception, and make sure you book an appointment or stay tuned for our drop-in days to come see this amazing exhibition between here and there.